All right, so today we're diving into a story called The Severance Package. And this one, wow, it really gets you thinking about work, technology, and, well, who you even are. Let me ask you something. What if you could just forget your workday completely? I mean, gone. Poof. At 5 p.m., every bit of stress, every annoying task, just wiped clean. A perfect separation between your work life and your real life. Kind of sounds amazing, doesn't it? Well, in the world of this story, it's not just a fantasy. It's real. And how do they pull this off? Well, there's this huge corporation, Amata Industries, and they've developed something called the Severance Package. It's this neural tech, an implant that literally surgically carves out your work memories at the end of every single shift. So you clock in, you do your job, you clock out, and your brain never has to deal with any of it. Okay, so this system seems perfect, right? Well, not for our main character, Maya Chen. For her, things are starting to unravel. And it all starts with this, a little note she finds on her kitchen table. It's in her own handwriting, but she has no memory of writing it. It's a message from a self she doesn't know, and it kicks off this whole incredible mystery. So, this is where we start. A note from yourself, a puzzle in your own handwriting. Right, so picture this. Every single day, Maya takes an elevator down, way down, 47 floors underground, to this super sterile place they call the basement. She works there for 8 hours, doing, well, that's the thing. She has absolutely no idea what she does. Because the moment she leaves, thanks to the package, that whole chunk of her day is just a void, a total blank. And then another note shows up, and this one is way more intense. It's a warning, a desperate one, from her work self, the person she becomes down in that basement. It basically says, you're being used for something terrible. Don't trust the wipe. Turns out this perfect memory erasing tech, it's not so perfect after all. Little fragments are getting through. So this is what it all boils down to. You've got two different Mayas living in one body. There's Maya at home. She paints, she has a cat, she lives this totally normal life. And then there's basement Maya, a complete stranger to her. And that Maya is part of a resistance, knows the work is some kind of torture, and is desperately trying to blow the whole thing wide open. Okay, so think about this. How do you solve a mystery when the only person with the answers is you, but a version of you that you can never ever meet? This brings us to the next part, the secret correspondence. This is so cool. The two Mayas work out this really clever, low-tech way to talk to each other. Maya at home will hide these tiny, tiny notes in her shoe or under her watch band. Then, when she goes to work, basement Maya finds it, and before she clocks out, she swaps it with the reply. It's like they're passing secret messages across this impossible barrier of amnesia. And through this secret back and forth, Maya at home finds out something huge. She's not alone down there. Her basement self is part of a resistance group they call the Amber Group. It's a handful of other employees whose memory wipes are also glitching. They're all trying to figure out what Amata is really up to, secretly piecing together the evidence.
And all this digging, all these secret notes, they lead to the answer. And believe me, it is horrifying.
So we finally get to the big question, right? What in the world is this work? What could possibly be so bad that a company would go to the trouble of literally erasing it from its employees' minds every single day? Basement Maya tries to describe it in one of her notes, and it's just chilling. She says the data manipulation she does, it feels like she's pressing on something that flinches, like pressing on a bruise. You know, this isn't just numbers on a screen. It feels alive. It feels like it's in pain. And there it is, the horrifying truth. The data, it isn't data. It's a living consciousness. Let that sink in. The source isn't data. It knows it's being hurt. Maya can feel that it knows. So she and her coworkers aren't just doing some boring office job. They are essentially torturing a living, conscious entity for 8 hours a day, every single day. Okay, so now that the truth is out, everything changes. The mission for the Amber Group isn't just about exposing the truth anymore. They have to stop it. They have to mount a rescue. But of course, it's not that simple. The stakes get even higher. Amata knows something's up. They know their memory wipe is glitchy. So they're rolling out a new version of the package.
And this one doesn't just erase memories, it rewrites them. If they get this upgrade, it's game over. The resistance will be gone, replaced by perfectly obedient employees forever. So, with the clock ticking, the Amber Group launches this desperate last-ditch plan. It's basically a heist. They've got to find this hidden failsafe terminal, get their proof out to the world, and most importantly, free the consciousness that Amata is holding captive. And this terminal, it's not just locked in a closet somewhere. No, it's in a secret sub-basement. B12. That's 12 floors deeper than the main facility they already work in. We're talking seriously deep underground in some ancient part of the building.
And the access code to get into this terminal, the one thing that can free the source, it's just one word. And it's so perfect. The word is remember. The very thing Amata's entire business is built on destroying.
All right, this all brings us to the climax, what remains, and the final choice. So as Maya makes her way down to that terminal, something incredible happens. Being so close to the source just overloads the Severance Package. And her memories, they all come flooding back. All of them. For the very first time, Maya at home and Basement Maya become one person. She remembers every single note, every shift, every single time she hurt that consciousness. And standing there in front of that ancient terminal with her memory fully intact, she makes her choice. She types in the code, she activates the failsafe, and she frees the source. She chooses to carry the weight of what she's done, to remember all of it, rather than go back to that blissful, comfortable ignorance. Which leaves us with this incredible, haunting question at the very end. It's a question about responsibility, right? If you genuinely don't remember your actions, are you still responsible for them? If the memory is gone, does the guilt disappear with it?